Alright guys, welcome to my next Transformer review. Today is going to be another third-party figure. This is the DX9 Cocomone. So let's go ahead and bring in her box here. With some of these third-party figures where the boxes are nice, I'll show those off. So it's got some nice artwork on the front. An artist rendering of the figure. Got, logos and pictures of it. Another logo there. Back is where it tells you where to put your stickers. Kind of interesting to do it that way, but that was fun. So it comes with a few stickers, as you can see, just all the little blurps on there. That's the stickers you got to put on them. And side, bottom. Cocomone, choking hazard, warning labels, made in China. Alright, so let's get that out of the way and bring the figure in here. Now, get the sword out of the way. Now I did give it the Dr. Wu Tyrant Saber, so that way it has an extra weapon, but did not come with the sword. It only came with one gun in the package, but in the clamshell there was a second gun slot. Now this figure is not even a normal Transformer character. It's one of the Gobots, which, as I've said in my videos before, it technically did become Transformers after Transformers bought them. Some of them have appeared in the IDW comic books and other places. So technically it is a Transformer. Anybody who says Gobots and Transformers are different anymore, that was true until Transformers bought Gobots and made them a part of their multiverse. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at this figure. Now, some things here is the wheels here in the back. You can either have them up or down. Depending on where they're at, they can hinder your articulation in different ways. So when they're down here, it's hard to get the arm down there. And then when they're up here, it's hard to get the arm up here. So really, you place them where you want them at the time. I like to keep them up like that. It's just more appealing to me that way. So let's go ahead and move it out of the way. So you do have potential for 360, just depending on whether you have it obstructed or not. It's got an in and out there, and then up and down. So it's got multiple spots where it can be moved at. Then it does have an elbow here that is on a double elbow joint, so joint there and joint there. It does have bicep swivel because of the way that's mounted in there. The hands open and close, and they're also on a ball joint, but they are limited with how much mobility they get just by how tight they are in there, so you can only get so much flex out of there. The hands are on a hinge here, so all four fingers open, and that's how you hold, or she, I forgot to mention, this is a girl, this is not a boy, this is a girl. So this is kind of going with my theme of the past couple of videos of being female Transformers. I got one more to go with RC from the Generations line, and then I'll complete my little bit of a female kick that I've been on lately. Alright, back to the articulation. Waist turning. Doesn't look quite perfect because it's more or less for the transformation, but you can get a waist swivel there. No ab crunch. The head is on a little bit of a ball joint, so it can go up, down, get a little bit of side action, so you can tilt the head sideways while you're giving that look like, what? Look up. Can't really look down too much, but that's just because it's hindered by by the neck and chest there. Back to the articulation down here. Fairly decent range of motion on the legs. It does have a little bit of the skirting problem where that gets in the way, but you can go forward, back, and if you move it out to the side, you can get even further in both directions. Goes all the way out to the side, so you can get some good high kicks on the side. It's going to be hard to balance the guys on there, though, but we'll get to that here in a moment. It's got a double knee, so it's got a knee there, and then it's got a little bit of a bend here where you can get a little bit of extra action out of that knee, but otherwise it's got a knee joint right there. So, and it has the hip rotation. Then it's got like a toe. Pretty much is all the more articulation you get out of the feet. Now, a lot of people have complained, and I do see where they make their point about these tires not having, here not having any real good way to lock in. They just kind of hang out there, so you just got to kind of get them in a position where you're fine with them. It does make it a little bit hard to stand. So, but I found the trick to getting her to stand is to just turn the legs at 2 different angles. And there you go. And what you have to do here is you turn the legs outwards. So let's go ahead and keep going over. I don't think there's much more in the articulation here to go over. Let's take a look at the back here. So that's how it looks from the back. I mean, looks pretty good. I mean, usually most Transformers don't look that good from the back anyway, so. Alright. Now let's go ahead and show her off with some other Masterpiece figures. So let's go ahead and move back. And I do count this as Masterpiece, and you'll see why here in a moment. First one we're going to bring in is an oldie. And as you can see, with some of the older scale here, like Hot Rod here, as you can see, doesn't really scale with those. But once again, this Hot Rod doesn't really scale with much anyways. So, well, actually I have him in Rodimus normally. So, here's her with Hot Rod or Rodimus. See her with Grimlock. And Grimlock towers over her. Which is fine, Grimlock should tower over things, so that I'm all fine with that. Next one, I'm going to show her off with some of the MPs that she does scale with. And that's the MP cars. She fits right in scale with those. So, that's why I say she's a masterpiece. Highly articulated, very detailed figure, open and closing hands. It pretty much checks everything in the Masterpiece line. And then here she is with Wheeljack. So as you can see, she scales really nice with your Masterpiece, guys. I'm going on a little bit of a rant with that, so I apologize, but I do think she's a Masterpiece figure. Now let's go ahead and take a look at her with some other figures. Here is her with a Gobot. That's another third-party Masterpiece-esque figure. Now he fits in the Masterpiece line because when he's in truck mode, he can carry Optimus's trailer, and that's about how big the particular mold was. I believe it's the Huffer mold. And so Huffer was a much smaller robot, but still be able to move Optimus's trailer for him when he couldn't. But there's her with Hoss, who is another Gobot third-party figure. Let's go ahead and bring in the bad boy, MP10, Year of the Horse edition. As you can see, she's much smaller than him, but she's a little race car, he's a big semi, so they should have some size difference here. Alright, and now for the next Masterpiece to put her up with. It's Apollyon, and he just looks good with everybody. So, alright, let's get Apollyon out of the way. This is another big boy. I'm going to try to push him back to get him in frame. But there you go. If you're KFC, Citizen Stack, this one's the Diaclone colored version with the SXS head on him. So, as you can see, she's very little compared to him, but he's a car carrier, so when he's in his transform mode, she fits in the back of him, so that's fine with me. And this one is the next figure, one of the next figures I'll be reviewing, which is Function X Sigma L. Sorry, Function X4 Sigma L. Basically, your Mind Wipe Headmaster Masterpiece. Now, I have commented that about with the Brainstorm that the Headmasters don't quite fit into the Masterpiece size scale, just because technically they're supposed to be as big as Optimus, but if you're going to make some scale arguments, a lot of the Headmasters were car sizes, and so they should be about that size, so he would be a Masterpiece Mind Wipe in my book. His hands don't open, but like I said, that's one box in the Masterpiece that you normally have. Everything else, he checks all the other boxes. Articulated, very heavily articulated, good paint job, very good quality. Now both of these have very good plastic quality. Some third-party figures just feel like they're going to fall apart in your hands or feel really, really cheap or just really flimsy. But both of these are good, solid figures from my experience with them so far. Now, bringing another little third-party guy, this one's a little bit more flimsy. A little iGear Sharky, or is this the Unique Toys one? I can't ever remember. But there you go. Alright, now I'm going to attempt to transform her on camera here. Alright guys, welcome back from that quick little break. Trying to do this on camera. I'm going to have to, I edited that out because whereas this top half here, like from about here to here, real easy to do. Real simple, intuitive, no problem. The back here, these back wheels, and then also if you look here, the axle these wheels were on was really stiff and wouldn't go into the position it's ended up finally needing to go into. Also, I didn't get these wheels popped out nearly as far as they needed to be, and so that was also hindering transformation, because you got to get these thighs to fold in on themselves right here, and that was causing some issues with these wheels. Now they are a little bit loose, but when they're rolling, they're fine. So, did want to note, others have noted this, but these are rubber tires, and they're a thick little rubber tire, so hopefully they'll last for a while. Now let's go ahead and show her off with some other figures. Let's go with a Gobot. Alright guys, so we're going to be comparing Cocomone here over to a actual Gobot Cykill. So, as you can see, they're in vehicle mode, you know, about the same length from front to back, which does put them in similar size classes in vehicle mode. So let's go ahead and take a look at her next to some of the masterpieces. And as you can see, next to a masterpiece car, she scales pretty good. Right in line with them. Like I said, this is masterpiece in scale and in quality. There was the design flaw on the ankles with the tires here, but other than that, I mean, this is a very well designed figure. I do like it, and I am enjoying it. I'll go ahead and put her up against one of the other fembots I've got recently. And there she is next to Chromia. Once again, Chromia doesn't scale with anything. Alright, and talking about things that don't scale, I'm going to go ahead and bring in MPO1, who does not scale with anything either. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Not too bad, but still not in scale. And you can just set the gun in there. That's all the more I did for that. Let's go ahead and show off next to a current deluxe Combiner Wars Alpha Bravo. So that way you can see where she fits with Combiner Wars. As you can see, not in scale at all. So definitely not in scale for your deluxe guys. So, and bring in a Hot Rod deluxe figure. And there you go. Once again, does not scale with that. And last but not least, we're going to bring in another third-party figure, and that is Mania King with the frickin' laser. He's got frickin' laser on his head. Alright, so this has been my video review of Cocomone. Overall, I would say it's a really good figure. I enjoy it. I do recommend, if you have any affection for GoBots, to go ahead and pick this one up. I got mine from TF Source, but you can find it all over the place. tf-direct.com. Like I said, I recommend this figure if anybody who likes GoBots, or just as an addition to your masterpiece line, to add another variation, so it's not all a bunch of Seekers and Lambos. So once again, this is Transform Travis saying like, comment, subscribe, and see you later.